Welcome to the Damascus Network. I'm Kevin Cottrell. On today's program, we have Chris Connor, who is the owner of Damascus Network. And Chris, we would like for you to give us some facts, the chronology of U.S. energy from certain different periods, like maybe we'll start out with pre-World War II through World War II.
Kevin, prior to World War II, the U.S. society as well as society as a whole globally was based on an agricultural society, indicating that individuals produced enough raw goods for themselves as well as the local community that they lived in. During the time frame of the 1700s through the 1800s, individuals wanted light to reminisce or radiate throughout the night and to get from point A to point B. During this time frame, what we now consider fish oil was now used to light lanterns and lights throughout the night, so people can see from point A to point B and to see in their houses at night once they got finished working on the farm or whatever agriculture means that they had. And also during this time frame, automobiles came about and which started the Industrial Revolution, which brought us up into World War II, Kevin.
Tell us maybe post-World War II through the 1970s.
After World War II, the U.S. was the predominant society in the world. We had the most robust economy in the world. And with this came about four major items. The first was the rise of the middle class. The second was an improvement in the standard of living for individuals in our country. Individuals moved from the urban areas to the suburban areas. And with this change, consumers also wanted a better lifestyle. So they wanted refrigerators, they wanted stoves, they wanted irons, they wanted televisions. They wanted to live better because they were the predominant society and they wanted to live like they were the predominant society. With the change, with that improvement, also came the rise in automobiles. With the rise in automobiles, that increased our dependence on petroleum. Prior to World War II, there was a surplus on petroleum. After World War II, there became a deficit in petroleum because the rise in automobiles took our use of petroleum to a new level, and we could no longer supply our petroleum needs domestically, and we started to look internationally and predominantly in the Middle East and you can say North Africa, which came about during the 1960s. And with that, OPEC came about.
OPEC stands for the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries.
And it's just what it says. It's a consortium of countries in the Middle East and North Africa that manage supply and demand, therefore controlling costs to the barrel of oil per drilling at that time.
What was U.S. energy like in the 1970s?
Kevin, during the 1970s, there were another 5 items that became paramount. And during the 1970s, you probably remember a few of them. One was the oil shortage, where individuals had to go to the gas station on odd and even days. The second was the creation of the Department of Energy, whereas they managed the process or wanted to get a better indicator going forward. The third factor was the emergence of the alternative energy market. The fourth was the rise of what we call the emerging market societies throughout the world, where production increased, where countries needed to improve their standard of living and wanted to improve their standard of living. And then also within that emerging markets also came what we call the China effect, which we are currently feeling right now with the rise in commodities prices.
Now, Chris, what is the current status of U.S. energy today?
Kevin, the current state of the energy market in the U.S. is changing. It is changing because we are trying to relieve ourselves of being dependent on foreign resources and looking for alternative methods to supply our energy needs so we can supply ourselves and secure our own national security. During this time frame, there are industries that are increasing, such as solar, wind, biomass, ethanol, and such. Damascus Energy looks forward to be a part of that conversion. We are leading the society down the road of energy transformation. We're looking to change one's heart, one's mind, one's soul towards their consumption of energy as they see it now and going forward, and to better help our customers and society look at society differently and see it as a globalization, not a local economy, but to see it, what's happening in Asia, what's happening in in Africa, and what's happening in South America.
What does Damascus Energy see for the future?
Damascus Energy, Kevin, will lead consumers down the road of energy transformation. We will do this by installing solar panels, installing monitoring systems, encouraging financing, and also through information services here at Damascus Network, where we seek to educate and inform consumers going forward.
We hope you enjoyed today's program with our special guest, Chris Connor, the head of Damascus Energy. And if you want more information about Damascus Energy, go to their website, damascusenergy.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Cottrell.